Hello and welcome back to Wonderland Asylum. Back today with stage 21, the Hachette Partworks release of Build the U96 U-boat. So, the instructions for pack 6 of the U-boat have finally hit the Hachette website. I've had this since last week, but I haven't been able to do anything with it. So what are we doing in stage 21? It's the forward crew quarters. So again, it's pretty similar to what we've done before with the bunks, the rails, and there's a couple of kind of dividing walls and things as well. A few little details to add on. So it's more sprues and glue, more kind of airfixy type stuff. So yeah, without further ado, let's have a look in the pack for stage 21. Okay, so in the pack we have the flooring, which matches very nicely with my cutting mat. We have some dividing walls to give some privacy to the sleeping sailors. We have the bases for the bunks. We have the storage lockers, I believe these are. Yep, they are indeed. We have mattresses, and we have the rails. The bunk, just check there's nothing under here. Nope, there is not. So yeah, quite a fair bit there, I think. So the first thing we're going to be doing is working on the bunks. So I need this part, but I don't need this flat bit at this stage. So I'll move all of this out the road, but it cannot be seen for now. I'll get my usual glue out. That's better. Glue it from the range, which is hardware stores in the UK. Again, that's the last of this tube. That's what I like about these small tubes, is they run out before they get completely stuck together. But it does mean you go through more of them. I have also some new sprue cutters, so hopefully there'll be less flashing on these. So we need 3 of the bunks. I'm just going to cut the 4th one off as well because it will be used shortly. And that lets me get the sprue out to the road. The sprue cutter to the side for now. And spoiler alert, it didn't prevent any flashing. So again, just get my sanding stick out. Give it a little file down to get rid of the bars on the end there. Just do that for all of them. I thought getting a new sprue cutter would mean they would come off more cleanly, but nope. And obviously you don't want any jaggy bits sticking off the edge of the bunks. Imagine some poor wee German submariner going to sleep and going, "Nein, it's a jaggy bit." Sorry, that was terrible. So yes, without further terrible accents, what we're doing is essentially gluing the bunks into these holes here. So as always, using my glue applicator just to keep it nice and precise. Just get some glue and run it round the inside of the holes. And take the mattresses, line them up, and push them in. Just like that. And that's what they look like. They don't look very comfy, do they? Poor German sailors. I don't know how appropriate it is to say that, but hey ho. Okay, so what we're doing is, now you can see there are pegs on the bottom there, so we're going to be fitting these to the base. Now the way they go on is like that, so it steps going like this. Now it is a fairly solid connection, but I'm still going to run a bit of glue around here, because the last thing you want is, once the whole model's together, for bits to start falling out. That won't be fun. So yep, just push them in like that, and then this single bunk here, goes in there, like that. Very nice. Now the next thing we need is one of the dividing walls. I'll just check which one. It is this one here that we need. Yeah, this one, they're all completely different shapes. And we need one of the two wardrobes or storage lockers. Yeah. And that is basically going to be going on to those two pegs there. And it goes on looking just like that. Perfect. And now we're taking this room divider here and doing the exact same thing with the other storage locker. And just some glue around the mounting holes. Line the pegs up with the holes, and it goes on just like that. And then we're taking the final of the room dividers and we're going to be fitting this piece to it. Now, I do believe that is the toilet, the toilet wall. So again, run some glue around there, and yes, around there too. Trying to see if that's where that peg lined up with. It is indeed. Then line this all and push it together like that, making sure it all fits nice and flush. Very nice. Perfect. We then need to cut these frames off of the sprue, similar to last time. They're all the same this time, there's no difference between the three of them. There we go. Okay, and what we're going to do is take this piece here, it's just make sure these pegs are all at the same level because you don't want them to go in squinty. Okay, and all we're doing is gluing them into these 4 holes that you can see just beside the locker there. Perfect. Okay, now if you look, because of the moulding, there are flat bits on one side. So what I'm doing is I'm turning it so that side is facing inwards, because you don't want to be seeing those flat bits because they don't look particularly nice. And they do make it obvious that it's an injection moulded model. So if you can hide them, that's probably going to be for the best. Okay, and the next thing we're doing is gluing them in to these slots here on the other side. Perfect. Now again, just line them all up and set that down to dry. Perfect. And then the next thing we're going to do is bring over this section here, and they're going to glue into these slots there. You can see there are tabs on the bottom there, and they're going to line up just like that. Okay. So just put a little bit of glue into those indents, line them up with the tabs on the bottom of the dividing walls, and that goes in, and that looks just like that. Fantastic. Okay. Now the next thing we're doing is taking this final dividing wall, which only has one set of indents there, and we're going to be putting the last of these bunk frames into that. And then that is going to go, guessed it, into this slot here. And into these two pinholes there on that dividing wall. Now, do you know who I feel really sorry for? The person that has to use that top bunk, because there isn't a lot of room to get into it, is there? Right, this is a little bit tricky. Right, I'm going to take this ladder out of this side, this frame out of this side, and I'm going to stick it in here first, because what I was finding there was you weren't able to get the peg there in because these two bits weren't lining up properly. So see if it works any better this way around, because the tolerances are very tight, as they tend to be with this model, in fairness. Yeah, there we go. That's it. That's us. And just push that down into its slot. Fantastic. Yeah, that's far easier to, yeah, put that into that side first than it is to tells you the instructions to put it in here, but that makes it very difficult to get in. I found it easier, as you saw, to put it into this side first and then guide it in to the other side, just because the tolerances are pretty tight. And then finally, we're taking the last mattress base. I'm just going to see what way around we're putting it, because there is an indented section. Okay, so it's to be facing up. So you can see there's a lip on the side there. The indented bit with the cutaway has to face up towards the mattress. That's what I was checking there. So again, just a little bit of glue around the outside of the pins. And slide it in there, just like that. And then there are two sort of slide rails that you can just see there and there. And with a little bit of glue in them, that is where that mattress, or that bunk rather, is going to slide. Now there is a little burr on that side. Now these were pre-cut, I didn't cut these off a sprue or anything, but I'm going to sand it down because I imagine this will be quite a tight fit. So just lining up the bunk with the wee slidey holes. There we are. It is a very, very tight fit, but just make sure the bunk is, top bunk lines up with the bottom bunk, and that's us, looking just like that. That looks really good, I think. And that is us for stage 21. So that's us for stage 21. What's coming in stage 22? Well, the commander's quarters. So basically we're building on to this piece here, because apparently that's the commander. But yeah, I quite enjoyed that. Nice bit of modelling. I think that looks pretty cool. Again, this is another of the interior section. So I think for stage 22 and 23, we're continuing to work on this. And then stage 24 is the control board for the whole frontal section. So I'm looking forward to that. Don't know if you get to test it, but we shall see. So yeah, thanks as always for watching. Any feedback, comments, criticisms, do drop them below. Do leave a like and do consider subscribing to the channel, because it does help out massively, and it will allow you to see the rest of the U96, the rest of the Titanic, and of course the new 1966 Batmobile. But yeah, thanks again for watching, guys, and as always, peace out everyone.